Fishing Gurus is brought to you in association with Devon.
Welcome to a brand new series of Fishing Gurus. I'm Dean Macey and we're at the wonderful Angler's Paradise down here in Devon. A complex of lakes which anyone can come and fish with loads of weird and wonderful species in it. We've been here for a hectic 3 days fishing, but first up was a session on the bank with Steve Ringer and Adam Rooney. So sit back, put your feet up and enjoy the show.
Now, if I had to pick one person to catch me a fish, it would be this man, Steve Ringer. But Steve, I expect to see you on your seat box. What's happening?
Well, we've come to Angler's Paradise and it's totally different to the normal fisheries I visit. Yeah. And like, I walk around the lake, there's loads of pretty koi swimming about. I just fancy doing something different, a little bit of stalking. Yeah. I've already baited a few spots and there's some great big tails waving at me, so I'm just itching to get a float in.
And you've never been here before?
Never been here before, never seen it. It's, it's a beautiful looking place.
It is, and we are lucky actually. I mean, there's anglers all over the complex, but this koi lake which we're on at the moment, there's no one here. So you've been around baited a few spots. What sort of bait?
Literally, I've baited 6mm pellets and sweet corn. And just like the sweet corn's nice and visible, pellets for a bit of scent, a couple of good handfuls of pellets, one good handful of corn. I've probably baited about 5 spots. Yeah. And I think, having had a quick wander, 4 or 5 of them, well, virtually all those spots have got tails in them already. So,
would it be fair to say that those are 2 baits that you do not leave home without, like a credit card?
This time of year, commercial fisheries, pellets and corn, you can't go wrong.
What about the paste?
The paste is literally like, because there is a lot of fish in the swim, so sometimes it's quite hard for them to pick out your hook bait. So a nice big lump of paste, sort of that size, just lower it in, it's nice and smelly, something for them to really home in on, and it should be able to get me a quick bite.
I've noticed it's really soft as well. Yeah. Most people do mix up their paste quite stiff.
Yeah, literally, I want it so it just grips the hook, so I can just lower it into the margins, and then a fish can literally come in and just slurp it up.
Right, and what about your rig? Because I know you're a little bit embarrassed about how crude it is.
The rig's literally extremely simple. I've got a little pole float, really strong, like a spring eye on the float, so there's nothing to sort of break on it.
And why a pole float instead of a waggler or something
just
like that?
Better presentation. Right. I mean, nice light pole float. It's almost like fishing a pole, but I'm going to be doing it on the rod.
You right off your rod tip?
Yeah, literally off the rod top. So I can lower a little pole float in, minimum disturbance. Then I've got one number 8 shot to cottler float. Okay. It's nice and simple, pretty crude, but simple. And then a short hook length, 9-pound engage to a wide gate hook.
Oh, that's a lovely big
wide gate hook, yeah.
And that's perfect for what, banding pellets and paste and corn, which are reasonably big baits as well.
2 grains of corn or a nice big bit of paste.
Right, and you've baited a few spots?
I've baited a few spots. The one behind us in particular has got 5 or 6 tails in it, I know, so.
There's a tail waving right now, so mate, let's go. I'll grab your bait. Steve, look, there's a tail down there, mate.
I think there's 2.
Yeah.
There's a ghosty and a real big black tail.
You're going to fish paste?
I'm just going to put a big bit of paste on.
Go on then. Look guys, if he doesn't catch fish now, we're going to fire him straight away because there are plumes of cloud coming up and his tail's waving 2 foot from his rod tip.
Big lump of paste, literally, just flatten it. Put your hook on top. Yeah. Then just fold it up. Almost like a sandwich type.
You can't cast this, can you? It's
literally going to be lowered in after the rod end.
Go on in. I'll sit right back so I don't get in your way.
There we go.
It's what I used to do when I was a kid. Except I never used to catch anything.
There it goes.
That is literally that far from the bank. Literally that far.
Drag set. It's going to be hit and hold if it goes.
There's a towel about a foot to the left of the float. Oh, it's a good fish as well, Steve.
Didn't take long.
Came straight out of the water.
It scared me when it floated under.
It came straight out of the water. Mate, that's a good fish. God,
and the thing is with the koi as well, they don't half give you some as well. They seem to fight a bit harder than normal carp.
That is absolute. That was so exciting. That was so exciting. It took, well, I don't know, I didn't time it, but it couldn't have took a minute.
I think it was about, it's in about 10 seconds.
But it's all down to bait preparation, isn't it? I mean, you've been around here. How many times did you actually come around and bait this swim?
I probably baited it 2 or 3 times. It took about 10 minutes for the fish to turn up. And then literally the water's been chocolate ever since.
Yeah. It's just gaining their confidence. It's very much similar to fishing on the surface, but you're just doing it on the bottom, aren't you? That is a good fish.
Basically, if you can't see them, there's no point dropping in. It's a case of moving between your spots.
Yeah. It's hard not to see these fish, though, isn't it?
When they stand out like sort of thumbs, but you still got to be quiet because they do spook.
Oh, come on. Dino, don't fluff it. Don't fluff it, Dino.
He's still got a bit in him yet.
I know. That is a cracking fish, mate. What's your biggest koi?
To be honest, I've never really been anywhere with proper koi. This would be a PB, yeah. First cast.
Well, it wasn't even a
like
cast,
I say,
was
it's
it?
definitely one of the biggest fish I've seen cruising about as well.
You was a foot from the bank, mate. That is the sort of fishing I love. All these commercials are absolutely perfect for it, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to, you can't really call Anglers Paradise a commercial, but
no,
anyone can come down here, anyone can do exactly what you've just done.
Well, this is what Anglers Paradise is about, isn't it? Like, just baiting a few spots, dropping in. Here we go, he's ready.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's longer than your net is wide.
Beautiful fish.
Good job, my friend. There you go, you take that, you've earned that. That's a cracking fish, Steve. Absolutely stunning, mate. Well, I mentioned in the intro why I always wanted to come to Anglers Paradise, and this is why. Steve, what a fish, and what a way to catch it.
Literally 15 seconds in the water. Now we've got probably 7, maybe 8 pound. Lovely white koi carp.
Every ounce of that, mate. That was a fantastic fight. To see it literally take, like you said, within under a minute, come out of the water and then zoom off. Great fight as well. It's a minter, the mouth's perfect, the colours are absolutely awesome. Mate, I want to go now.
Well, we'll get this one back and we'll see if we can get another one.
Well, you put that back, because I know Adam's down the bank and he's fishing from a slightly more static position. He's going to try and get the best out of one particular swim. So you sort that fish out and I'll go and sort him out.